He
Yeah,
wilding, bro.
that's definitely his team, bro. It's definitely.
What, LSU? Nah, you tripping.
Did he
You
say
talking about LSU, his team?
who did he say it himself, or did it come from a source?
Oh, you talking about his like yeah.
Bruh, like that his team getting paid off that, like the likeness. They supposed to do that. They trying to max his money out because they taking 10% of it. So he ain't go over there and be like, oh, they gave my number away. He probably don't even know who's on the roster for real like that. LSU, this dude a starting quarterback trying to come off injury, bro. He don't care about that. Yeah, Terrapins basketball gonna be nice this year for sure. Hey, Vic, did y'all ever run into the not PG Jaguars, but Team Durant?
Nah.
Oh yeah.
No, they was on the Nike circuit.
What y'all on Adidas?
We was in Puma.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I said. We saw Reese Austin, and a couple other cats. That was in Puma. We didn't really cross paths with any of the Nike or Adidas joints.
So
like you said, everybody trying to get paid.
So based on the shoes, the shoe circuit y'all on, you might never see nobody unless they're on the same thing, Puma or Nike or whatever.
Like I said, then you got a couple of like joints that are intertwined, like made hoops that had like everybody. But for the most part, like again, your joint is to try to, obviously do as many of your own individual shoe tournaments as possible. But like I said, you had like an example, like when you playing, you gotta wear, if you're doing a Puma event, you gotta wear Puma shoes. Everybody, like head to toe, gotta be in Puma. Or you do a joint like made hoops, so you just wear, whatever the fuck you want.
Do they give y'all the gear, or y'all gotta purchase the gear on your own?
Shit, nigga, you good and goddamn well, you got to pay for that.
Hold on a second. Nah, not if you sponsor. Y'all ain't sponsoring?
Hell no, you got to win.
Y'all niggas trash.
No, serious. Because like again, you got to win a championship.
I'm just kidding, man.
Yeah, nah, I feel you on it. Like, because in my mind, I was like, we ain't never gonna get paid. But nah, yeah, you like I said, you either got to have like a standout player, or you have to won a championship, of some sort. And then, like I said, then that's when they sponsor you. Saying that the actual brand will sponsor you, and all that kind of stuff. And then that's when you really start getting the free gear. But but until then, hey, check is due on Monday.
Shoot, I ain't mad. I played at AU. I was trash too. Our team was definitely trash.
Bro, you should see. I say it every week. You should see some of the teams that are out there, bro. Some of them judges, you was like, how in the hell did y'all get on here?
Yeah, that was our last AU team I played on. That was definitely us. I mean, one year we finished top 8 Division II basketball in New Orleans, but that was like the best team we had. But yeah, trash, straight trash.
Yeah, there's so much talent out there right now, man.
Oh, way more than when I was playing. Like, it's a bunch of 6'8" dudes who can dribble and walk. Like back in the day, if you were 6'8", you didn't even have to walk, and you couldn't, even if you couldn't walk and chew gum, they'd have you on the AAU team somewhere. It was crazy.
Yep. Like I said, now Bama 6'8" are sitting on the bench because they got another nigga that's 6'7", 6'9" that can do it.
With a 40-inch vertical at 12. It's like people looking for aliens. There you go.
Yeah, they out there for real. I do want to talk about that Jaden Daniels joint though.
JD5.
Yeah.
The greatest quarterback alive.
Wow. This nigga done gone too far.
Soon enough. Soon enough. Dang, I should have took the pics. All right, let's do it.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Slick Vick. Hey, I come at you with the stats. Don't get mad at me. It's just the facts. Bringing it to you straight from the coach's point of view, player's point of view, giving you the ins and outs of how the game's actually played, how the game's actually run. Like I say again, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that y'all just don't see. So I'm gonna keep it real with you.
My name's Tahir, and I'm always gonna make the best take. Hey, look, man. Yes, sir. Best free safety. It's your boy Angel, man. You feel me? I'm representing the YNs on here because the unks be out of control. Bruh. I played bad. I ain't gonna lie. I played bad.
I knew I shouldn't have had that extra popcorn.
I played bad. I ain't gonna hold.
Hold on. Like, don't cut my intro, dog. Like, where y'all at with this right now? Let me get my intro. All right. It's your boy Jared. I make the takes that nobody wants to make. Undefeated all time. Commanders fan. 12-5.
Hey, like I say again, I'll be honest. My biased opinion at the end of the day, hell no, you ain't right. Hell no, that ain't right. Like I say again, until that school retires your number, all right, you have no guarantees on it. Now, the problem that what comes in is with he got a promise from his previous coach. Then of course, you got Lane Kiffin that comes in, he promised it to another cat. So of course now this whole cease and desist thing is predicated because Jaden Daniels was told something from his coach who is now gone. So my thing is, at the end of the day, once your coach leaves and you got nothing else in writing from the actual school saying, hey, we are retiring your number, we're not going to give it to anybody else. Hey, your deal went with that last coach. Now, in addition, like I say, your number is not retired. You won no natties. There are other cats that have actually done better than you. I'm not saying that you weren't great. I'm not saying your numbers weren't great. His numbers were good. And like again, there's an offense and a defense and a special teams. You got to win two out of the three aspects of football in order to win a game. So he may have been able to do his thing. The defense and special teams may not have been able to do their thing in certain games. But at the end of the day, this is still about wins and losses. He does not have the wins and the natties and the championships or nothing like that to solidify himself with the school even at this point. All right. And again, like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about bringing in the talent. And it's all about what have you done for me lately? They got the new cornerback that wanted to come in. He was promised that number in order to bring him in. That was actually a holding point for him that, hey, I need number 5. And if I can't get number 5, I'm looking elsewhere. They were like, hey, don't worry about it. We got you. So now that whole cease and desist thing, not feeling it. I really feel like that is, in my biased opinion, like I said, I'm not saying that Jaden Daniels is childish, but I feel like this whole thing is childish because, like I said, again, you, especially as a college great, or what you would call yourself being a college great, you should want to be able to pass down certain things to the next generation. Michael Irvin is one that actually passed down his Dallas number to the next generation. You know what I mean? So my thing is, hey, give it, give some props to the next guys and hope and pray that, hey, we can do whatever we can to get a championship for the school. Is it about you or is it about the school? Tim Tebow's number ain't even retired yet. You ain't even got Tim Tebow numbers. Who? Nah. Burrow joint ain't retired yet. That's what I'm saying. There are others have done better than you, and they don't even have they stuff retired. So how are you sending a cease and desist because of a promise made by your last coach who's not even there anymore? Like I said again, if that came from the dean of students, the athletic director, something that you got in writing to be like, hey, this is guaranteed, and one day, we'll retire this, then that's one thing. But until then, nah, bro, come on, keep it moving. Try to work on getting number 5 retired in Largo.
think like him, like he, even if he felt like his jersey to be retired, like he can say that there's nothing wrong with it. But like trying to force him to, that's where the problem is. Because that is supposed to happen naturally. Like you supposed to over time, and it's too soon. Like he asked for it too quick. Like over time, then they go and look. Yeah, we're gonna retire his jersey, and then like I seen like they trying to say they're using his name, image, and likeness. And I'm just like going to the same school and happen to have that number isn't stealing from his name, image, and likeness or profiting from it.
The dude don't even play the same position. If he even played the same position, then I'd be like, oh, hey, you know what? I can see them trying to, bite off of this joint. The dude is on the defensive side, a totally different position. Like they got different heights, weights. Like, come on. Mm-mm. He's a corner. That's what I'm saying. He a corner.
Let me come in and add some reason to this thing. So first of all he did was he added a season desist for using his name, image, and likeness. So you can sell the number 5 jersey, just not with his name on the back. So it's like if you're your own entity and you don't want someone to sell with your name on the back, say you went to the school but you didn't like the school, or you had a falling out with the school and you don't want to be represented by the school. If you send them a season desist, you can still sell the number 5 jersey. Just don't sell the number 5 jersey with my name on the back. Like everybody has the right for that. If I went out here and I put any of y'all's, if I put any merch with y'all face on it and tried to sell it, y'all could put a season desist on me as well. And I feel like that's the American right. But of course, we get this story from one of the major networks, and it always seems to happen to the same type of quarterbacks where it's like, oh, he went crazy and he did something that nobody ever does, and he's just this malcontent quarterback when we've heard is good things from him since he's been in the NFL, but now he's such a fool. And it's crazy out the comments that I see on Facebook where it always jumps to the most negative thing, and it always jumps to like, oh, he's a bad person. But it's like the reality is this probably came from his team, and all he's saying, which is a human right, is to say, hey, don't sell the jersey with my name on the back. Sell the jersey with old dude who you gave the jersey his name on the back. And that's what we're really talking about here. So if LSU got a problem because they're not going to make money if they don't have a Daniels on the back, then they shouldn't give the number away.
Well, no, and I think I think that we have different understandings of what the issue was. Because again, LSU was not selling the jersey with his name on it. The whole thing was predicated based upon his number going to the corner. So if you're giving if you're giving the number to the cornerback, at what point are they selling the jersey with Daniels on the back?
Where's the
They
source?
weren't.
What's the source for that? Because I just read it and it was like he just said name, image, and likeness. So
Correct.
they
Correct. He and that was the thing. Like I said again, and if you look at it, like I said, at no point in anywhere in any sources is word that was LSU actually selling a jersey with his name, image, or likeness. Right? They weren't selling Jaden Daniels jerseys. This whole thing started because the number 5 was going to the cornerback that was now being brought in, who's what a 4 or 5 star corner.
And how is it
And
a name and image and likeness case is what I'm saying. Like
we're all wondering that.
If he files for name, image, and likeness, and it's just because they're selling a number 5 LSU jersey, then it's not going to go anywhere. So it shouldn't even really made the news in the first place, other than his team is retarded. Like, I mean, not retarded. Take that back. This team is ridiculous. Sorry that you're not supposed to rewind. But anyway, it's like for it to make a story, there must be something else that they're leaving out. And I feel like they conveniently leave these things out, just like they leave out the fact that Deshaun Watson threw an interception. I mean, fumbled, and Shador Sanders threw an interception last week. The media picks and chooses who they want to attack at the time, and I feel like for whatever reason, it must be Jaden Daniels.
Well, because again, like I said, that's why I said, stay with me here. At no point, like I said again, nobody was going out buying Jaden Daniels number 5 LSU's jerseys. Like I said again, this thing was all because the number 5 was being given to the cornerback, and Jaden Daniels felt that, hey, I was promised that this was never going to be used again. That's what it boiled down to. Check all the sources. Check all the sources. There was no number 5 Jaden Daniels jerseys being sold. They weren't pulling them out in those stores. Nothing. It wasn't about them actually selling the jerseys. It was just simply because he was promised that jersey was never going to be given to anybody else, and in his mind, pretty much his jersey was going to be retired. And that promise was between him and his coach. That was not a promise between him and LSU. So that's where now, like I said, now all this extra is coming in. And again, my thing is, hey, at the end of the day, if your team did this, you are in charge of your team, right?
I just looked up on their website. They did have a Jaden Daniels, but the link is broken. So that cease and desist took that Jaden Daniels jersey off. He's saying if you're going to sell the number with my name on the back, then don't give my number away. But if you're going to give my number away, then don't sell my jersey. And clearly, I just looked at the website and the link's not there. They got a Joe Burrow jersey on LSU shop. They got Odell Beckham. They got everybody else, but Jaden Daniels not on there. So the link, that cease and desist, was his jersey with his name on the back. They conveniently left that out the story, which they normally do on big networks when they're not trying to look out for somebody.
Well, hey, like I said, hey, at the end of the day, like I said, but even if you want to go there with it, right? Again, that in my mind, that still sounds like a problem to me, right? Because again, if LSU is selling the number 5 jersey and they got Joe Burrows, they got Odell Beckham, whoever else up there, that means everybody getting paid, right? And now you're butthurt because your jersey number is going to somebody else. Like, come on, again, like I said, what do you? Outside of the Heisman, like I said, you have no natty, you have nothing. Like the LSU has no reason as a school, as a conglomerate, to say we're never going to give that number away again. But again, you attended.
Paid.
Huh?
How do you know these people are getting paid?
We mean how do you know if they get paid?
How do you know Jaden Daniels and his team is getting paid off his LSU jersey? Like he might have got paid while he was there, but I don't think he was actually seeing the money from that LSU jersey.
Nah, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense.
It's happened before. Like
never
happened.
Bruh, come on. Like I said, if you got a team and your team knows that your jersey, like I said, at no point was that ever reported, right? Because if that were the case, then they would report that. They would have been like, hey, you selling our jersey and I'm not getting paid. Okay. This is because you, and like you said, this is, hey, you selling my jersey and you giving my jersey number away.
They sold Carmelo Anthony's Oak Hill jersey. They sell LeBron James St. Vincent St. Mary's jersey. You think he gets paid off every one of those? I don't think
Absolutely.
so. No, I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Unless that joint's a knockoff, he's getting paid.
They were selling it before they were even eligible. Like they were selling it before whatchamacallit even left Syracuse. Carmelo.
And you don't think that stuff was renegotiated now? Like again, you got to remember NIL. You got to remember NIL is more recent than anything. So you don't think that all these guys have got renegotiated this stuff? It's just like streaming music.
Do they still get paid when they leave college?
Yes, it's got your name on it. It's got your name on it. That is what that N in NIL means. Is your name.
It's supposed to be, but how many times have people gotten screwed up in showbiz or in
Well, like again, if you got a team and your team is saying, hey, if that was the case, this team should have said that. They shouldn't have said, oh, you gave my jersey number away. They should have said, hey, if you're going to sell my jersey, I need to get paid. But that's not what they're saying. They're saying you're selling my jersey and you gave my number away.
This is being reported by the major networks. And it's got more coverage than Brett Favre stealing welfare in Mississippi. It's just a jersey. So now let me clearly whoever's
Brett Favre white
has a bias.
There was a lot of those guys that was stealing that money, right? And they swept a lot of that stuff under the rug. And like I said, it's really extremely unfortunate. Like you said, the Stephen A. Smith, the Stephen A. Smith, Jaylen Brown got a lot of coverage. The Stephen A. Smith, LeBron, got a lot of coverage. Stephen A. Smith and Kyrie Irving got a lot of coverage. But like you said, some of that other stuff, like the Drew Brees comment that he made, that ignorant ass comment that he made when people were kneeling, that got swept under the rug. You know what I mean? Jerry Jones and the shit that he was saying about that got swept under the rug. So like again, I mean, we know that the stuff with some of us when it comes to the negativity is always going to be, highlighted about, over, what the good old boys do, for any of their dramas. So, I mean, come on.
We're always set up to crucify these same characters. At some point, it's on us to either change the narrative or be different, or we're doing the same thing to ourselves, really, because it all comes back into whatever field that we're in. It always comes back the same way. But it's just like when we were trying to say last year, where we're saying, hey, Shador's clearly being targeted here. And obviously, young people didn't really notice that because
Angel,
the first time they seen it in their lives, right? It's just like
Tahir.
We uncovered it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, for me, right now, I'm gonna uncover this whole story because I don't feel like the whole story was. So he just said, "Hey, you giving my number away? Then don't use my name as your likeness. Clearly, the link ain't there no more. Oh well, if he decided he don't want to associate with LSU over a number, however petty it was, I don't think it's a big deal. It's a jersey. Nobody can buy LSU jersey. Buy a Commanders jersey if you really like Jalen Daniels, or he's losing money on his own, which is dumb either way. So it's like, the only person he could really hurt right now is himself by not selling more jerseys if he's getting paid for it. So
my thing is, at the end of the day, it boils down to, like, again, if you represent that university, and that's why I said, is it we or me? Because if you represent LSU, is really where he made his name, right? I can't remember where he went prior to LSU. He didn't make his name there. He made his name. He made his bones. He got famous. He got that Heisman at LSU. And in my biased opinion, right? Because again, everybody's different, right? Everybody takes pride differently. And me personally, hey, when there's certain things that I feel like, hey, they really helped me out, I really got my name, I really got my jump over there, I take pride in that, right? As a coach, you know what I mean? I've coached at others, other areas or other conglomerates and so on and so forth. But right now where I am, I'm like, hey, I really feel like these are the guys that are really propping me up. I'm not gonna turn around and look at Dreamers and be like, oh, hey, you know what, y'all, I'm mad at y'all. Don't sell no Dreamer shirt with Taylor on the back. Like, yo, I mean, cool. If that's the case, then we need to have a conversation one-on-one. Why did it have to go to the level to where the lawyers were? Like you said, again, if that's the team thing, and I'm Jaden Daniels, I am one of your most recent stars out of there, why couldn't we have that conversation between me and the university or me and athletic directors?
That's just the story that's put out. Nobody said they had a conversation. They just they started their story from the season desist. That doesn't mean you don't just go out and season desist without having a conversation first most of the time.
But again, stay with me here. If that is the case, then who on the teams are not putting this information out, right? Because again, this is a two-way street. Because LSU is not saying this. So what we're doing a lot of speculating on how do we know they didn't. No, what we can only go based upon it is what is reported. So if LSU had that conversation, LSU needs to say it. If Jaden Daniels' team has had that conversation, then Jaden Daniels' team needs to go. And if anything, Jaden Daniels, even at this point, needs to make a statement. Because again, this is now
He already
his
made a statement. He said he's focused on training camp with the Commanders.
exactly.
So what are we talking about?
But that's my thing. At the end of the day, this is his image, right? So
Who? What, in 2K and Madden? He ain't even play yet. What are we talking
I looked it up. Jared Wright. It's It says most college players don't get paid after they leave.
Thank you.
get paid what for their jersey sales?
Exactly.
It says look, their contract expires when they graduate or turn professional.
Right. For what though? For jersey sales?
Yeah.
You just said, man.
And no. Because read that again. Start from the very, very beginning. You said what was the first word you said?
It says former college athletes generally do not continue getting paid for jersey sales after leaving school unless they are covered by specific ongoing group licensing or royalty agreements.
So again, that's what I said, right? I didn't say that every single one. I just said, hey, we don't know what their contracts are. I did say that. I said it is an NIL. It is a contract.
So we're gonna
that's what I said.
To the crossover a bunch of hypotheticals, and that's what everybody's doing right now. And I'm just saying, pump your brakes because clearly we don't have the full story, and that's what everybody gets. Like they want to put it like everybody should hate Jaden Daniels because he's just this a-hole who wants to take away his jersey because they gave a jersey to another kid. How many jerseys can you actually have? Like, come on, bro. Like, if that was really the story, would we even have? Like, there's no way that's the actual story. Like,
well, see, my thing is, I'm not saying he's an a-hole for it. Like I said again, and like you said in the beginning, a lot of this is from his team. I'm just saying that I feel, hey, he needs to get a hold of his team.
NFL. He's been out of there for 3 years. Like, if he doesn't want to associate it, who cares?
No, but again, that's a statement that needs to be made. Unfortunately, we're not in a world where, they're not in a world where, like I said, some of the stuff just gets to fly by. Again, people get paid to talk about it, right? Because otherwise, what are we even watching it for? They are news, right? That's what they get paid the big bucks for. It is unfortunate in a lot of and especially in our minds, we're like, oh, hey, you shouldn't have to deal with that. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. The world spins around talking about these guys, whether it's on or off the field, whether it's on or off camera. That's just the way the game is. That's just the way life is for any guy.
As an analyst, if you're analyzing, you have to choose your side, whatever side you want to choose. For me, my side is not to bash players, being somebody who played the sport. And I'm not saying that was great or anything like that, but like knowing what these people go through to be great, because everybody thinks it's just easy to make it in sports. And I know all y'all played sports and we know it ain't easy to do, but that's what the common person thinks. So like for me, it's like, let's give some more insight to the story because a lot of stories around these type of quarterbacks and these type of players always seem to shoot out, but there's no negative history with this guy. There's no negative history with Jaden Daniels. There's no negative history with Shedeur Sanders. But then someone puts out these dumbass stories, and the next thing you know, everybody's hating them for no reason. That's all I'm saying. It might not be where you're coming from, but that's all I'm saying.
No, and that's why I said I'm not hating them at all, right? Like I said again, my thing is, what is the missing parts? But based upon what I'm hearing, no, I don't like that, right? And that's what I said. Hey, as a dreamer, or as a champ basketball coach, I'm not going to turn around and be like, oh yeah, don't sell my, Taylor, champ jersey or Taylor Dreamer jersey no more. But again, like I said, what is the rest of the story? And if there is more to the story between LSU and his team, somebody needs to clean this up. Unfortunately, we are just left speculating. But it's no hate on, from at least from my perspective. Now again, all the other analysts, I can't speak for them. There's no hate on it for me. I just said that personally, I just didn't like it. I just don't like how this is playing out. I don't like a guy that got his name. He got that Heisman and everything from that school, right? That's all I'm saying.
It gives you the Heisman. You earn the Heisman, wherever he would have played. And the reality here is, like LSU, there's a lot of things behind the scene. And when I'm talking about hating, I'm not directing it at you. What I'm directing at is pretty much from the comments on Facebook because I put I put this story out like maybe 3 or 4 days ago on Facebook, and you could just see the level of comments of Jaden Daniels. Oh, he's a bad person, he's an idiot, and all this other stuff. And it's just like people go way too far off limited information. But that's it.
But I do have to speak against one thing you just said. I don't necessarily feel that every player that wins the Heisman wins it regardless of where they go. I think, like again, your school, your team, whether it's the guys in the backfield or like again the coaching staff, they play large roles into a lot of these guys winning these Heisman. These guys don't just walk. There's a reason why these guys have gone from school to school. You know what I mean? If you actually look at it, some of these guys have transferred or whatever may have you. So I don't feel that he would have just won the Heisman regardless of where he went. I feel like his team, in my biased opinion, I feel like that's taken away the credit from the guys on his team that really, the linemen, the receivers, the coaching staff, that takes a lot away from what they put in to get this guy to the Heisman. Like I said, just the same as I don't feel like MVPs win MVP every single year regardless of where they play. Now, there are just certain greats, right? The Michael Jordans, the Tom Brady's, they're few and far in between. And I'm my biased opinion, I don't put Jaden Daniels up there as a college great, you know what I mean, to say he could just win the Heisman. He would have won the Heisman regardless of where he went. That's just my biased opinion.
The team didn't come through. Like the offense, when they looked at their number, like the ratings, that offensive rating was almost as high as like Joe Burrow's team, but the defense was so bad that year. But I'm just saying, ultimately, yeah, nobody wins by themselves. It's a team game. Football's a team game. But what I'm saying here is, like, to get to a Heisman level, you have to put so many hours after the end. You can't say it's completely on the school, or you have to identify with the school. It's almost like you just started coaching with the high school and the AAU, the Dreamers, right? And it's like ultimately, but you've already proven that you're a good coach and you're helping people shoot. It's like if you make it and they take all the credit. Yeah, Vick wasn't even coaching before he met with us, but that didn't mean that you didn't already have the skills. You clearly had skills that changed their program around. So if you do get to a certain point, they can't take all the credit. They can say, hey, he was with us, but they can't say, oh yeah, Vick wouldn't have been nothing if we didn't hire him, because they don't know that.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying, right? That's exactly what I said. I said that they play a role. That's why I said it wasn't that he was just going to win the Heisman. If you put him with Cucamonga Cracker Killers, that he was going to win the Heisman. That I'm saying that they played a role, right? They are part. Like Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, like his brothers played a role in Michael Jackson being Michael Jackson. Now, yes, he is, being an elite guy to be able to take it to another level himself, to be that Michael Jackson. But like again, we can't forget Joe Jackson. We can't forget Catherine Jackson. We can't forget all his brothers, right? They played a role. So that's what I'm not saying it in the sense of LSU gets all the credit. I'm just saying that LSU as a whole, the team, the coaching staff, everybody played a role in helping him. That's what I'm saying.
What about Arizona State then? Because Arizona State played. I mean, if we're talking about playing a role, you can go back to high school, middle school, but nobody references everything that they went through. All I'm saying is yes, they played a part in him. Like he played for the team. There was some development there, but like you can't take the credit away from like he doesn't owe LSU nothing, because if he couldn't deliver anything at LSU, they would have pulled a scholarship and he would have been gone. They've done it to plenty of kids. So I'm saying if he doesn't want to identify with that school, that's completely fine.
Yeah, and again, I'm not taking anything away from him if he said but again, that's not what's being said. We're saying if he doesn't want to, right? So again, we're back to speculating, and that's why my thing is, what is the rest of the story? What if you don't want to be associated with the school, cool. Then the team needs to say, hey, he just rather not be associated with the school. Things have happened, transpired between Jaden Daniels and the school, and then everybody can speculate off of that. But that's
teams never do that. Teams never do that. If they're in a position to look good, they're not going to sit there and make themselves look bad.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Then that's then we're left where we are, right?
They're going to
then we're left speculating.
Story. That's like if somebody put out a bad story of anyone else, and we just sat there and we just had to take it, because obviously there's a thing where, at least when I was growing up, if you respond on the internet, then you probably did it or something like that. So now a lot of people are trying to stay off the internet, but it's like the internet now, if you don't say anything back, then that means you probably did it. Like it's like the world is turned around. So it's like he's having to address these things now, but he might not even really care as much, other than he doesn't want to be associated with LSU. But
and like I say,
speculation.
old boy, like again, he got a lot going for him. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's one thing I'm happy and proud of him for. He got a lot of other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially even like his mama. Mama clearly came out like, hey, my job, my goal right now, outside of all the other management parts, is to make sure that these girls don't try to take him for his money. You know what I mean? So he got a lot of other positive things, and that's why I said I'm not hating on the guy at all. I don't like the story, but that doesn't like this one story don't make me hate this guy. Like again, there's been nothing else bad about this guy, no other scandals or anything. And even if they were, like I said, it's not my business. My thing is, at the end of the day, I pay for you to entertain me, and your entertainment is playing on the football field. So if you entertain me on the football field, I damn near can care less about the rest of the stuff that you got going on. You know what I mean? And that's just me as a fan of of some of these players.
Yeah, I just think the story needs to be more complete, and I feel like journalism, since it started integrating with social media, is half-assed, and that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Go one of the YNs take that first.
I think,
Hey, so here, you want to go?
yeah.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say like, yeah, it's about time he retired. Like everybody can't pull a LeBron, man. Like you just gotta like, once you start losing it, you can like, try to re-spark it after a few different teams, few different tries, but sometimes you gotta let it go. I think it's his time to retire.
Go Westbrook. It's just,
I'm gonna just say, it definitely was his time to retire. And especially with this newer generation, I feel like in a way he was kind of like ruining his own career because the last how many years is everyone trolling him on the internet, calling him Westbrook. You feel me? Just saying that he's like low key, he's worse for the team than helping it. But I do like that when he did retire. Everyone acknowledged like the amount of triple doubles he got, and it's kind of feeling like everyone's switching up. Which low key I don't mind because I feel like people are just joking when they call him Westbrook. Like, people just gonna say anything for a laugh, bro. That's just how it goes. But you feel me? Top 3 point guard of all time for sure. Let's go. Magic, Curry, Westbrook.
Zeke.
Not in that order because Curry over Magic, but yeah,
Have you seen Isaiah Thomas play?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. He's back.
What you mean?
Oh, bro.
Yo, Vic, what you mean?
Hey, all right. See. This is when it's time for me to clock in. You know what I'm saying? Get my time card, punch in. See, now I gotta give y'all the stats. Don't get mad at me. It's just the facts. And this is why. This is exactly why I hate the whole thing of, oh, LeBron scored the most points, so he must be the greatest. He played all these years. He's gotta be the greatest. Look at his stats. Let me get his stats for y'all's ass. As far as point guards, Russell Westbrook ranks first in points among all point guards of all time. He ranks first in rebounds amongst point guards of all time. He ranks second in triple doubles of all time for point guards. He ranks third in blocks amongst point guards of all time. He ranks fourth in assists amongst point guards of all time. His numbers are crazy statistically, but yet nobody's saying, oh, he's the greatest point guard of all time. Magic, Curry, everybody's of course going to throw those two up there first, but none of those guys have the numbers. And that's why I say again, it's called the eye test. You can't just go based upon stats or like said, oh, wow, look, he's just been great. He's been here so long to say that this guy is great. Now, all that rambling still to say, Westbrook, of course, is great. And I do feel that now he's getting his flowers just like anybody else, right? Because people didn't appreciate Kobe when it was the whole who's the greatest of all time? Magic, Jordan or LeBron. And then now after Kobe passed, then that's when people started saying, oh, Kobe's in there too, but it's unfortunate that in today or in our world that yes, these guys really don't get their flowers until either heaven forbid they pass or they retire. And then that's when people really get to appreciate their greatness, but while they're in it, and then yes, they're going through the struggles or they're just not as great as what they used to be. Because Homeboy was averaging 15 and 6 in his last year while people were still calling him Westbrook. No, he wasn't as great as he was in his OKC days or what may have you. But at the end of the day, the guy is still, like, again, just statistically, the guy just, I mean, he's been great. And yes, I do feel like he padded his stats, right? That whole triple double, for a whole season thing, well documented. And especially, like I said, if you actually watch the basketball games, he would get mad, or others would get mad if he didn't get the rebounds. It was set up for him to get those triple doubles a lot of times. Now, it still takes effort, right? You still got to show up nightly. You still got to put in the work. But it was well documented, and you can actually go back and watch the tapes on it. Like, hey, if a center went and got that rebound, he's looking at him like, nigga, that was my rebound. You fucking my joint up. So, but again, all that rambling still just say, I'm proud of the guy. I've always been a fan of him. I've always loved the energy that he brings to the game. Like I said, that amount of heart. Like I said, again, people drive off of that. Like I said, even people like myself, like I like to coach like that. You know what I mean? Just pure energy. Bringing the fans, something to see every single night. Not this old dry, some of the stuff that we got now where people just feel like they just too cool. They just showing up. Now Westbrook, he was screaming in your face. He rocking the babies, and yes, he took some lumps. I mean, he got battered out there at times, but yeah, he still dished it. So I'm mad happy for the guy. I'm very proud of him. I wish that he could have gone out on a little bit of a higher note. I do hope, because I know that there was speculation on him signing with OKC for a day so that he could retire as a Thunder. I do hope that comes to fruition for him to actually retire as a Thunder. Again, me personally, would I put him as top 3 point guard? Honestly, no. Like I said, but do I put him as one of the all-time greats of a point guard? Absolutely. Just not my top 3. That's just my biased opinion, because again, watching the game, eye test. There's other aspects to being, playing the game, stuff like that. But I'm very proud of that guy. So all that rambling, props to Westbrook.
Yeah. So a couple of things. I think it's sad to see him go at this point, because I think he still was playing good basketball. I'm not saying that he was playing great basketball. I think that ultimately the game has changed a lot, and then a lot of players have been pushed out in the last 5 years who were solid NBA players. I think the coaching in the NBA, it's really just one way now. People don't know how to play different styles of basketball. So if you don't have a bunch of 3-point shooters, it's like they're almost unplayable. But I think if there was a coach who had, a better, mind frame, they could use Russell Westbrook off the bench as a second initiator, and then surround him with shooters and allow him to attack the basket, because the way he plays and his ferocity, that creates an advantage, and it creates lanes. It creates lanes for shooters, and I think that could have really helped the second unit. But I think it was a good note for him to retire when he did, because like Angel was saying, he was just starting to get disrespected. I mean, you were taking like $3 million contracts, which just didn't make any sense. And then, he was getting all the blame for teams that just weren't, constructing well. Like, I didn't even like when they picked him up for the Lakers. It just really didn't make sense for the roster. Like, that roster clearly just needed shooting. Even Russell Westbrook at his best, you're going to give LeBron James the ball. As far as him being a top 3 point guard of all time, when it comes down to it, the 3 guys most people put in front of him is because they have championships. Like, I get the numbers. There was a little bit of stat padding, when Durant left Oklahoma City, because he was, he was the only show in town over there, but he did well with what he had. And this is a guy who wasn't supposed to be a star. This wasn't a 5-star recruit when he came out. This is a 4-star guy who, played a couple years at UCLA and really turned into some, a Hall of Fame player. So really congrats to him. And I hope that I see him in the big 3 or something like that, because I think he still has some game left to play. I think the big three is a very good alternative to somebody who still has some juice left, but the NBA isn't giving them what they need.
Yeah, I gotta even piggyback a little bit off of what Jared said. Like I said, normally we don't agree on too much, but I definitely agree with it. Like I said, it's been well documented. The NBA is structured a certain type of way. So you either have to have a certain type of attitude, a certain type of playing style, a certain type of mentality to actually still remain in the NBA. When they always say, "Oh, the best players aren't necessarily in the NBA," and part of that is true. I mean, you had guys like DeMarcus Cousins or Dwight Howard. Clearly, you're not going to tell me that Marcus Cousins or Dwight Howard couldn't have made a roster for some of these teams, the way that some of these players are out here playing. But at the end of the day, like again, it still boils down to attitudes and again, can they get along with what's the vibe in the locker room, and the things of that nature. Who was the other Jabari Parker, excuse me. That was another guy, again, well documented. He still had a lot of juice left in him that he could really ball. And his complaint was, hey, some of us guys that could actually play and we were playing for our jobs, we were playing to win. That's not what the teams wanted to do. So then they sat us, made it look like we weren't that good. And then all of a sudden now we can't get a job again because now it's like, hey, I still feel like I deserve a certain amount of money, but yet I was sat so that the team could lose. And now the team's mad at me because I didn't sacrifice. So again, it's a lot of stuff, like you say, again, that goes on behind these scenes. I mean, and like again, fortunately, I didn't have to deal with, that kind of stuff, with my coaching. But again, just seeing, like again, that yes, I always keep screaming, just because you have a talent, or two or three talented guys, don't mean that team's going to win. There's still a lot of stuff that goes on in the locker room, a lot of sacrifice that is involved on the basketball court that some of these players just are not willing to do. And I'm not saying that about Russell, because again, his assist numbers are clearly up there. So he's been well documented that he's willing to pass. But unfortunately, I think his playing style just doesn't fit what today's NBA really wants. And again, I feel that's unfortunate because, in my biased opinion, the guy was exciting to watch.
Nah, for
That's
sure.
something to add to Jared and Vic though. Y'all saying that Russell Westbrook he still has something in the tank, and yeah, that's true. But when you look at it from like a team perspective, if you can get a younger guy that can develop and get better, but so they're at the same level as him and can get better, they're gonna take him over the older guy every time that's declining.
But here's the thing, that logic, it sounds good, but like how much does it actually work out? Like how many times do you really find a guy who can give you 15 points a game? It's kind of rare, man. Like I understand like the logic is to go young and try to develop a guy, but in the NBA, they're not really developing anyone. At that point, it says is do you have it or not? And it like the people who develop, those are the people going with trainers, those are the people who going and putting a lot of work in. Look at Jaden or Jalen McDaniels, or I think it's Jaden McDaniels for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's been in the league for like 6 years. And like you really didn't even see him shine until like this year, as far as scoring, he was just a defensive player. It's like they're not putting that amount of time you think to the young players. Like a lot of these people don't even practice. So it's like if you don't have it on your own, you're not gonna get it. So it's like sometimes, like why don't you just put a better product on the floor if you're a team? I think what teams are really doing is this is more about money and we can pay a rookie a minimum salary a lot lower than 3 million. So we're gonna fill up this roster with a bunch of bums just so that we don't have to pay money, and we're gonna present it to the fans like this guy is just as talented, and then you're gonna come still pay anyway, and I'm gonna save my money because I think right now with all these tech billionaires now buying NBA teams, it's gonna be more about making money because every team that's buying as a group, they're like public. I think they're trying to buy teams as publicly traded now. Those publicly traded companies, wherever they're in, they're trying to make a profit because that's all they talk about is profit. It's like the SEC and the and their trading, their stock price. So if teams become publicly traded, you're going to see this all the time.
Yep. And additionally, like I said, again, you got to remember these guys that want to, develop. Like I said, they got those teams in they got the G League affiliations. You know what I mean? So, like I said, again, they if they really felt like, oh my gosh, we just have so much more talent, then they would go down to the G League. They would pull those guys up, or like I said, again, but you even got to remember, even with the draft, what is the draft really all about? The draft is about getting potential, right? And they've even said it. One that I always hold on to, and I can't remember the guy's name that said it or the player that he was saying it, for, but it was a guy that got drafted for Toronto Raptors, and this is a couple of years ago. They literally said he's 2 years away from being 2 years away. So they're drafting a guy that is 4 years away from even potentially being something, right? So you're drafting based upon potential and hope and prayer that this guy will eventually be something. And if he's not, like again, you don't have him on your roster. Again, you throw him on the G League, or you send his ass overseas and tell him, hey, come back next year when you're actually a lot better. But like again, if today's game is all about winning, right? If one would think that it's about winning, getting a guy that's going to average you 15 and 6 is not actually as easy as you think. Like I said, it's actually a lot more difficult to average 15 and 6 in the NBA than people make it out to be. I mean, we look at the Ant Edwards and the Steph Currys and so on and so forth, and be like, oh wow, look, these guys are great. Averaging 20 points is easy. It's actually really not. Like I said, again, there's a select few that can do it, and those that do it, again, they got off nights. And like I said, again, you have to be put in a position. Like I said, when Westbrook played for the Lakers, I feel like that was really like the beginning of the end for him, because they put homeboy in a position that was just well known to fail. I mean, there was just no chance of him succeeding with the way that they had that team and the game plan structured. And like I said, and then he ended up taking all the blame for it. LeBron took none of it, absolutely none of the blame. The coaching staff took none of the blame. And Westbrook was the one that got shipped out as if he was the complete problem on that whole team, when it was like a plethora of other issues. So, like I said, again, like I said, yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to develop the youth, but if you don't have the youth, why not put someone out there that's actually winning for you, or that can win for you?
That's valid. I feel that, bro. All right. Let's keep it moving, bro. Let's move it along. I want to talk about, let's pivot back to the NFL, though. Is Stephon Diggs washed? I want to know what the Commanders' record going to be, and is the Giants making the playoffs, bro?
No, I got to start this out. We're going 12-5. I already told y'all. Second off, how are we talking about Stephon Diggs' wash when he was the number one receiver on a team that went to the Super Bowl? I get it. They didn't win. He didn't have a great game in the Super Bowl. But if we're talking about people not having a good game in the Super Bowl, meaning they're washed, like, what are we even talking about here? Like, this guy's he's coming off a 1,000-yard receiving season, and he's coming off the Super Bowl. Like, that should tell you right there he's not washed.
Jared must be going to the parties, bro. You going to his parties, bro?
Like, how? So if you let me ask you this question. Maybe I got to word it differently. If you had a 1,000-yard receiver and made the Super Bowl, is he washed? Like, take the name out of it. Like, what are we talking about here?
Nah.
Like, come on, man.
Hey, I got this.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
The Giants ain't making
No.
the playoffs either.
No, look. I'm not going against Jared. I'm actually agreeing with him, because the only narrative surrounding Stephon Diggs when he left Buffalo is that he's a diva and he's not a team player. However, when he went to New England, he showed that he was a team player. And he showed that he wasn't really there for the stats, even though he did end up getting his stats. He was a leader in the wide receiver room and went to the Super Bowl, being Drake May's number one option. However, now that he's going to Washington, he's gonna be, let's say, like a top 7 wide receiver 2 in the league, because obviously he has to play under McLaurin. But I mean, like, he's still got some juice in him. Are the Commanders making the playoffs? No.
You crazy?
Listen. The Giants have a better chance to make it than the Commanders, and the Giants might not even make it.
What? How so, man? Your second best receiver is Odell Beckham.
He said
That's
he cooking.
not true.
He said he cooking.
He is cooking. Everyone's saying he's cooking too. But hold on.
Come on, bro.
No, they say he cooking. They said he cooking,
They
bro.
saying he's cooking.
You think he's
But
gonna
look,
last the whole season?
he don't need to. We got depth. We got Darnell Mooney, Malachi Fields, rookie out of Notre Dame, 6'4", fresh legs. Isaiah Likely is a big target for Dart as well. You know what I'm saying? Brought him over from Baltimore. Ain't bring him over for no reason. Come on now, 6'4".
You listed his height, not his stats, or like accomplishment.
Okay, because he had to, bruh. Because he had to play behind Mark Andrews And everyone knows that the Ravens should have re-signed Likely over Andrews because, like, come
Sure.
on, it's just
That
younger
was them.
player,
Yeah, that
a
was
better
them.
receiving threat. So Harbaugh, but low key, I feel like, all right, this is a conspiracy theory. I don't know if y'all ready for this. Harbaugh probably knew that he was on his way out of there, so he wanted to bring at least one player back with him. Low key though, hear it out though, because everyone knows Likely should have been the guy over Andrews. Harbaugh, he definitely wanted to have one of his better players bring him over to the new team with him because he knew he was going to get another head coaching job. It's not even a question.
Is Likely even y'all starting tight end?
Yeah, Likely's our starting tight end now.
Yeah, cool.
But and then because I know why you say that, because that boy Theo Johnson be cooking the Commanders too.
I don't even know what that is, but all right.
But hey, so here's my breakdown: is that Diggs is not washed. The media likes to make him out to be a diva, but New England's really gonna see what a diva looks like. I already heard AJ Brown starting to talk to Drake May type way. But Diggs is a good leader.
You
Commanders
said
not
you
making the
heard it. You
playoffs.
said AJ Brown talking to May.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not AJ Brown just getting frustrated because I did see like several clips where May's targeting Brown and Brown they just can't the ball just not getting to Brown's hands. But you know what I'm saying. But we been knew AJ Brown was a diva. Like this is nothing new, bro. He doesn't even care about winning. He just wants the ball. And if that was the case, if all he wanted was the ball, he should have went to a team that's not the Patriots because Patriots is gonna play team ball.
Yeah, I thought that was a bad pickup of AJ Brown because it's like, it's not the Patriot way. That's all I can say on that.
Yeah.
Well, my bias opinion again. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the stats. Don't get mad at me. It's just the facts. 7 out of 8 years, this guy has clipped over a C note, over a stack, and yardage. And only the 1 year that he missed, he only played 8 games, where he still had 400 and some odd yards, which therefore means that he still really could have gotten his numbers had he could have gone 8 out of 8 years. So for starters, no, Stephon Diggs is not washed. Like again, I do feel like he is in a privileged position because there are a lot of really talented receivers. A lot of times that either they traded or they signed with other teams as free agents, and they don't get to actually play with teams that are either offensive minded or even have a halfway decent quarterback. So I feel like a lot of places that he's been able to go, he's been able to pair himself with a fairly decent quarterback in almost every step. And like again, what I keep screaming, I've been saying this even with the Westbrook stuff and so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes in the locker rooms that we don't get to see or hear. And yes, that whole diva stuff, it can be detrimental to a locker room. People do get tired of it, especially if you're not winning. But as long as they're winning, a lot of times these antics get forgiven. But as soon as they start losing or they go on a losing streak of some sort, then that's when all these things are going to be accentuated, and it's going to be a snowball effect. I do feel like if he can keep some of those antics or, the baby mama drama and the this or that, I feel like if he could really keep some of that stuff sidelined, it'll really take him to a different level. And I think Washington could really be special. Now, again, I go back to my original. I still got them at roughly about, 11-6, 10-7, for this year. Because, again, I still keep screaming it. They got to play that AFC South. That's not going to be a cakewalk. They got to play the NFC West. That's definitely not going to be a cakewalk. With the Rams and the Niners. I guess again, still within their own division. I don't care how bad these teams are within the NFC East. It's always a dogfight. I mean, like again, the Cowboys and Skins is always a tough game, no matter how badly either one of them suck. It's still must see TV for some odd reason. It's been that way my entire life. It's been that way my parents' entire life. And it's going to continue to be that way just because of the nature of the rivalry. Like again, you can't sleep on the Eagles. Like again, I'm not really versed that much in what the Giants got going on, so that's why I said I'm not gonna be disrespectful, Angel. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna be disrespectful to your boys, But so I don't know, but I do feel like hey, like I said, they got a decent coach. I'm interested in seeing what Harbaugh now does because again, he got a lot of criticism back in Baltimore. Even from myself, yours truly. Because I feel like there was a lot of things that Lamar Jackson could have and should have done that Harbaugh I feel like really kind of stunted his growth on. So all that rambling still just to say, hey, they got to be able to put it all together. It's got to be a package deal. Jaden's got to be protected, and the wide receivers got to really still go out there and do their thing. They got to coordinate. They got to be on one accord. Running back still can't be forgotten. I really don't hear much being spoken about the running game, and that's the part that I really feel like a lot of people are skipping in today's football. There's so much emphasis on the on the quarterbacks and the wide receivers, but you got to remember that running back is just as important because he keeps the defense honest. And if you don't have a solid running back or even a solid rushing line, because again, passing line and rushing line are two totally different concepts. So if your rushing line isn't as good and your running back can't get even some amount of decent yards to keep them honest, that's going to be detrimental too. So I'm interested in seeing it. Again, I'm not an NFC East guy, so again, I'm not going to speak badly about either any of the teams down here, not even the Seahawks. But I know three guys on this panel are NFC East guys, so I'm really interested in seeing the rivalry. I just want to see a bet or something come across. I want to see somebody betting, to send a jersey somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm interested in seeing somebody wearing the Ops jersey.
Oh, I like that. 12 and 5.
Well, let's bet it up. We
Hey, y'all know I'm always betting on my Giants.
we
So.
can end right on that with a bet.
Oh, I bet we make the playoffs.
Ooh, nah.
All right. How about this? If the Commanders make the playoffs, you got to buy a Commanders jersey.
If the Commanders make the playoffs, I'll buy one for me and you.
Okay. And if the Giants make the playoffs, same vice versa, same thing.
Y'all just gonna be swapping.
Bet.
That's the bet. So chat, y'all heard it.
So look,
chat, y'all heard it here.
I'm gonna just say I feel like neither of us might make the playoffs, but
it's a win-win or a lose-lose.
Yeah.
As I said, the NFC is going to be still tight. You know what I mean? Because again, you can't sleep on the Seahawks. Still can't sleep on the Rams. You still can't sleep on the Eagles. You still can't sleep on damn near the whole NFC North with the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, and the Chicago Bears. You know what I mean? Like, so we didn't already got 6 teams, and we didn't even say anybody in the NFC West yet.
We didn't even say Dallas either.
I'm never going to say Dallas.
It's like, forget
that.
Hey, I just want to know who got the flip 13s to get their Dallas starter kit going. You know what I'm saying? The Air Jordan 13 Flints are the Dallas Cowboys starter kit. Boy, who got them joints?
Hey, hold on. Let me just say something about Dallas real quick, because I'm a Giants fan, so I've been born to hate Dallas my whole life. But Dallas retained their whole entire starting offense, which was already between 1 and 2 in the league last year, and they put all their eggs into their defense. They got Caleb Downs. They drafted the edge rusher. You got Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark now on the interior D line for the full offseason. I'm just saying, bro, all Dallas, because Dallas, they missed the playoffs, but not by a lot. There was probably like 2-3 games out the offs. I'm just saying, Caleb Downs, they got help on that D line. Dallas is a playoff team for sure.
Well, see, here's my thing. Dallas has in my biased opinion, I always feel like Dallas is a playoff team.
It's our fault, yeah.
It's just that Dallas always is set up for the huge letdown.
Hold on. Like we shouldn't allow Caleb Downs get by. I'm sorry. Like, I still think Caleb Downs was the best defensive player in the draft, and I don't know why we let him go. So I know Sonny Styles and Alvaro Reese, they did good at the combine, but Caleb Downs is just a better football player than both of them.
I know, and then we drafted that right guard over Caleb Downs, and then we let him go to Dallas.
Yeah, that was terrible, man.
I was the Stephon Diggs stats, and he's washed, bro.
He's washed?
Yes, he's washed.
1,000 yards and 7 out of 8 seasons, and he's washed?
Listen to this, though. First 1,000 yards, and he's like the only target on his team. That's not even what I'm getting at. You go to the postseason. The most important games of the season. Chargers, 16 yards. Houston, 40 yards. Denver, 17. And the Seahawks, 37 yards. So when your team needs you the most, he's doing nothing.
You pulled the angel.
I get your point when he's the number one receiver, but as the number two, that's completely fine. Like he's not supposed to be the guy who's number one against top corners. Like with the teams you name, their top corners are elite. Like especially Denver, Seahawks, and like if you're not a number one receiver, you're not gonna get off on them. And some of the top receivers don't get off on those teams. So like for him being number two, like those are solid numbers. We're not saying he's like a top 5 or 10 receiver in the league, but he's definitely a top 10 number 2 receiver for sure.
And then don't forget, so it's one thing to list the stats, but it's another thing to actually tell the whole story, right? So going against the Chargers, you got to remember the score of that game was 16-3, which means that was purely a defensive game, right? And he got targeted only 5 times. So it's not like, oh, he got targeted like 10 times and he just had all these drops. Then the next game, Houston, that was 28-16. One-way ass whooping, that's cool. He got targeted 6 times. But again, Houston, well documented, is one of the better defensive teams in the league. Denver, who was clearly, and I was the one that was vouching for that one. Denver, hands down, was one of the best defensive teams in the league. That score was 10-7. He was targeted 5 times. And then, of course, like I said, against Seattle, 29-13, which was a one-way ass whooping anyways, 3 times. So we're not talking like this guy's had, 10, 11 targets. See, the guy's getting 5 targets. And sometimes, and this is the thing, there's a difference where it's, but here's the thing. Like you said, if he is the only guy, and now he's going against the elite defenses in the league, when he is the only guy, obviously the defenses are keying in on him. And sometimes you're just there as a decoy. It's unfortunate. Again, they're going to still throw it your way to keep the defense honest, but sometimes you are just going to be the decoy. Again, it is a sacrifice that you make. So if he would have came out and was like, oh, hey, I'm doing all this, I'm getting open, they're not giving me the ball, then that's when you say, okay, cool, there's a problem here. And never once did you hear Diggs come out from any of those games and say, yo, they're not giving me the ball enough. They're not targeting me enough. Because again, what does that mean? That means that was part of the game plan. Hey, you just run these routes, and we're going to try to do whatever we can to get some of these other guys open. But again, we're not talking about he went against Cucamonga Cracker Killers. Like I said, again, the Chargers, the Texans, the Broncos, and Seattle all were damn near top 10 in defense in the entire league.
I'd rather have Stephon Diggs than AJ Brown if I'm a winning team. AJ Brown gonna break the whole team up, have the media in the locker room every week.
that Terrell Owens shit. He's like, you either with me or against me.
Bringing people into a locker room ain't nobody been in the whole time. They like everything's going good. Then AJ Brown comes, and now the team chemistry is off. Yeah, I'm good on that.
That's a fallacy though. Because AJ Brown, that's like a one-time thing. Like, I can't just say AJ Brown gonna do that.
It's already coming true in New England. It's already come like this. There's already reports of stuff going wrong in New England already.
But that's just the narrative they think.
Yeah, I didn't hear
that. You ain't hear about the fight already in training camp? I know y'all gonna just say it's training.
Yeah, no, they did. Okay, AJ Brown.
But yeah, I mean, bro, they fighting.
Yes, Tahir, it's fights all the time. But my man just got shipped there a month ago. Like, you feel me? Like,
and Walker fighting too.
Right.
But he just got it. He can't get right, man. I'm telling you, you're about to find out.
Hey man, AJ Brown not gonna get right. Shador Sanders gonna keep throwing picks. This gonna be a good NFL season.
Hey, we gotta we doing Shador today. We leaving Shador alone.
Nah,
we gotta see him play next week.
Yeah, we gotta see him play.
Save it.
Yeah, we're gonna save it.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, that was an overthrow, man. But y'all not ready for that. We gonna.
Well, hold on a second. Did y'all notice every highlight they never showed the quarterback's viewpoint?
Yeah.
What you mean?
But no, I ain't gonna lie. Even though Chase Daniels be hating, Chase Daniels actually gave him the pass.
You know why? Because you know why the ball sailed, right? He wasn't able to drive because they pushed the lineman into him. Therefore, the ball's gonna sail.
Nah. So the ball was wet. The ball was wet, and because you could see Shador, he flips it twice to try to get a grip on the ball. Chase Daniels pretty much broke it down. And so that it sold because he couldn't get the grip. And you actually see Shador flipping the ball, trying to get the correct grip on it, and he just couldn't get the correct grip. And when he finally threw it, it just sold.
Oh,
How
gotcha.
conspiracy theorist is this, bro?
Bro, that came from Chase Daniels. He a quarterback.
Yeah, he real deal.
He a quarterback. That's what he said.
Hey, my thing is here's the part that I have a problem with. I don't know why we expect all these quarterbacks to be 100%. There is no such thing as a quarterback making 100% of his pass. I don't give a damn what's going on. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Brett Favre. I mean, I can catalog these guys for days. Nobody makes 100% of the passes. And let's not pretend like this guy is a 12-year veteran in the league. You got to remember, he didn't get reps like last year like that. So this guy is still, relatively speaking, damn near a rookie still. So there's gonna be mistakes. Again, this is effing preseason. Let him get his war wounds. He's gonna get his battle scars. He's got to get adjusted to the game. He's got to get adjusted to the weather. Because again, let's not pretend like playing in Cleveland is the easiest effing thing to do. So that's why I'm like, yo, now I'm on my Jared shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this negative story about this brother that come out when we got how many other quarterbacks that are playing? We got each team playing 2 and 3 quarterbacks, and we're only talking about this guy throwing a sail pass. Not every single pass will sail. We're talking about a sail pass. Like it was the fucking Super Bowl, and we needed this game, in order to for mankind to continue. Like, no, like, come on. We're making, I think people are making more of this. See, I'm on my Jerry shit. People are making more of this shit than it really needs to be for no reason. This is preseason. How many missed tackles were out there? How many other quarterbacks threw a pick? How many other people? We're not talking about the fumbles and so. I mean, come on, man. We're talking about a sail pass and an interception. Like, Jesus freaking Christ.
That's
Jared
Angel,
was
bro. Angel, that'd be Angel. Clocking Shador, bro.
He
Clocking him.
does not.
Boy, he be on his Rex Ryan shit, boy.
Yeah, Rex Ryan, bro. Angel be on this Rex Ryan, bro.
Boy, it must be a New York thing or something. You Jets and Giants fans were in cahoots.
Bro, no, I wish y'all would have heard us in it, bro. Like, before Shador was drafted, I'm talking about, bro, I used to be screaming in the phone. I had like dry spit on my phone, screaming in that shit, sending voice messages to these dudes because they would just, bro, I'm not even lying, bro. My shit was just like plastered, bro, with fucking dry spit, bro, because I'm fucking yelling into the fucking phone because they used to just hate in Shador, bro. And compare, like, bro, he'll throw one bad pass and it's like, yo, he's so trash and he this and he that, bro. They used to just dog Shador, bro.
What I don't understand is, like, why after the game did the coach make a note about the interception, but they didn't make a note about Deshaun Watson's fumble? And even the people who were the analysts that were talking about the game, they were like, yeah, Shador threw an interception, but they didn't talk about Deshaun Watson's fumble, and they didn't talk about Dylan Gabriel's interception. It's clearly like it's a objective of whoever's covering Shador to always, talk about what he did wrong. They never talk about what everybody else is doing wrong. It's like, play at an even field. If he loses the battle, let him lose the battle. Like, it'll show up no matter what. But it's like, he's the only guy on the team that throws the ball down the field. It's like, if you really want to win, you're not going to be able to dink and dump your way to the playoffs. Like, you need somebody who's going to challenge the defense. And it's clear, like, other people on other teams can see that. But at this point, I don't think the NFL is really going to give them a chance anyway, which I never thought they were in the first place.
I don't think so either. Because Dylan threw the ball right to the fucking linebacker, bro.
Angel would say that Dylan was better than Shador during the drive.
You said what?
During the drive, Angel was saying Dylan Gabriel was better than Shador.
I did not say that. Y'all
Yes,
be
he did.
twisting my words.
Yes, he did. They was glazing.
I be
Bro, they
twisting
was
my words,
glazing
bro.
Dylan Gabriel, bro. It was crazy.
No.
This what you said. You
So
said he got high IQ. I remember. You said his
no, I
IQ.
did not. Listen. This is what I said. This is what I said. Because Nehemiah was asking. He said, "So why did Shador fall so low?" And I told him that it was other quarterbacks that were more NFL ready than him.
So Dylan Gabriel was more NFL ready than
Yeah, he
Shador.
said Dylan was.
Yeah,
Man.
because I'm telling you, that's what teams were thinking because he played out of school like Colorado and couldn't really get nothing done. Dylan Gabriel was getting stuff done at Oregon.
What?
And everyone knows by now Big Ten's better than the SEC.
All right,
That's
hold
not
on.
even a question at this point.
First, Oregon, they're known for like getting quarterbacks that suck in the NFL. Like they've had, you can go back to Joey Harrington, Marcus Mariota. Like there's a long list of guys who look good in college and then suck in the NFL. Their offense isn't even a pro offense. They literally throw like out to the sideline, and the college football field is way bigger than the NFL, like the sideline to sideline. So you can throw those little bubble screens and get plays off that you can't get off in the NFL. So I like to say he's more NFL ready playing in a super college offense versus some guy who's playing a pro style offense is crazy. One. And then two, it's like if he was considered not pro ready, there should never have been a mock draft that close to the draft where he was still considered a first round draft pick. So
But
like
who made the mock draft? Not the GMs. The analysts did.
so
They analyzed it wrong.
this is the thing. People have been wrong. The mock draft's been wrong, but when have we seen a guy who's supposed to be a top 2 pick on a mock draft go 5th round? Like I've never
Never.
seen that. And I've been watching the
Never.
draft.
Cause the mock
Never.
drafts were made. The mock drafts were made before his interviews with teams.
So interviews never dropped a guy that much. I've seen people who've had like somebody die from a car crash or something like that, or been on drugs and still went in the first round. Bro, you don't fall 4 rounds, bro.
I mean, like, look, you got to realize though, when your own dad is saying if a team releases the footage, he gonna sue them. Like something happened in that interview room.
The reason why he's saying he's going to sue him is because no one ever releases the footage. And if we're talking about interviews, did you see what the Warriors said about Yaxel Landenberg? He said his interview was horrible, and they still draft him in the first round because he can play. You don't draft people in the NFL because they're amazing citizens. You draft them to play, and ultimately, he still looks like the second or third best quarterback in that draft class. Still to this point, it's first you got Jackson Dart, you got Tyler Shug, and then Shador. Who was out of those 3 quarterbacks? I mean, out of the other quarterbacks, who can you really say was better than Shador in that draft class?
What about
I
Cam
mean, at
Ward?
this point,
What
yeah,
about
Cam
Cam
Ward,
Ward?
Cam Ward.
Cam Ward,
Cam Ward looking bad, bruh. Did y'all see
he's
his first?
actually
Did y'all see his first preseason game?
Nah, I don't know what's going on preseason.
It was
so we get
not. It did not
out
look
of
good.
those quarterbacks. Who else?
But you gotta think though, because the year right before Dylan Gabriel, or it might have been, yeah, Bo Nix had just came out of Oregon and he was looking good in the NFL. So when a team sees that quarterback right out of Oregon is looking good, are they going to take the chance on the guy from Colorado or the guy from Oregon, who the dude just before him just is playing good at the NFL? Like you gonna pick him too?
You know what's crazy though? See, that's how I know you don't know ball. Where did Bo Nix play before he went to Oregon? He played at
Forgot.
he played in Auburn, and he was not looking like that guy.
Oh yeah, Auburn.
He was
But
not looking
everyone
like.
knows. What did I just say? I said that everyone knows the Big Ten's better than the SEC.
And Bo Nix ain't playing that good. People say the Broncos. Bo Nix is the reason they won't win games because, like, he's not looking like a world beater either. I'm just saying, like, Oregon quarterbacks don't pan out in the NFL, and then plus you're talking about a 5'11" guy who's left-handed. So not only that, you have to change how you draft completely when you have a left-handed quarterback because now your blind side tackle is on the right side instead of the left.
Right, it's a new generation now because you gotta realize. So before Dylan Gabriel, it was Bo Nix. Before Bo Nix, who was it? It was Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it was Herbert.
I thought
You gotta
Herbert.
realize.
Oh yeah, he was good. Never mind. That's the only guy
Yeah,
that I remember.
Herbert is
You
good.
got Herbert, good. Bo Nix, not bad, not great. Take a chance on Dylan Gabriel over Shador. I'm not saying I would have done that. I'm just saying I'm telling you, Nehemiah asked. I'm telling you, they thought he was just more pro already.
I doubt that, man. I'm sorry. Like if and then I'm saying even the college scout, even the college, like when they were doing the Heisman, like Shador was higher in the Heisman ratings than Dylan Gabriel. So I'm just saying, like, if that was the case, I think that would have been the case going into the mock drafts would have said the same thing. Like, because what I'm
Wait,
saying,
but Gabriel was a finalist. Shador wasn't.
Shador was a finalist. Shador was eighth. I'm talking about Dylan Gabriel wasn't on the podium, was he? He
Nah,
was
he was. They
okay.
went to New York City. Him, Genty, Travis Hunter. I forgot.
Okay, then I
Is it
forgot.
just 3 or 4?
It's three.
3, yeah. So yeah, them 3.
Okay, so then maybe you got that, but ultimately, if he was a Heisman finalist, he was never on a first round draft pick, even in the mock. The mocks never had him in the first round. Matter of fact, the mocks didn't even have him in the third round. So everybody thought it was a reach when they went third round with him. But obviously, the mocks aren't always right, and I get that. But I'm saying like the mocks would at least had Dylan Gabriel over him the whole time if this was the consensus. Because the people who make the mocks, they talk to it. So basically, we're saying the interview changed it so much that he dropped 4 rounds, which unless he said he was going to kill everybody in his family, there's no reason he should have dropped 4 rounds over interview.
Yeah, that's facts.
I'm just saying.
Bro, because Angel said he don't think that there's politics in sport, bro. He said there's no
No,
politics.
bro. Come on. I did not even say that. There is politics.
Tahir, come on. Didn't he say that?
He said that.
He said
Angel
that.
done forgot everything he said in this podcast
Yeah, bro.
all
He
last
said
year.
there's no politics in sports, bro.
We got a whole new Angel.
Bruh.
This nigga changed up everything he said from last year.
Bro. That's
So
what
this-
I'm saying. That's why my shit was plastered, bro. I'm fucking yelling at these dudes.
Angel done changed up, boy. Well, Angel,
You know what else they said? They said, yo, Shador dropped in the draft because he didn't do the combine, bro.
What? You know how many people dumb that's dumb.
Bro, that's what I said, bro. They said he didn't do the combine, and that's why he dropped in the draft.
I feel
They
like it's
don't,
the
they
same.
don't, huh?
It's not just one thing that he dropped. Like it's a lot of like different like things what made him drop. You know, his father, his school he went to, the so-called interview.
Okay, if it's the school and it's his father, Travis Hunter went to the top 2 pick. Next, that doesn't work because Travis Hunter
It's Travis Hunter though. Come on now.
It's Travis Hunter though. He didn't look good last year. So next,
Bruh, Shador is not.
Come out of
Travis
college.
Hunter is not Deion Sanders' son. I mean, I know Deion Sanders basically he wants to claim him as his son, but you feel me?
Didn't Bronny
So
James,
But that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That
Ron James' son. So being his son should be a positive thing, right? Because if it
no,
helps James,
no, because you know they don't like Deion Sanders.
what?
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But that's why the politics, that's why we say it's politics. Because they don't like Dion, they took it out on his son, bro. Because nowhere in draft history, bro, has anybody was projected to go. Let's not even say first round, bro. This dude was projected to go 1 or 2.
Yeah, let's be real.
Never in NFL history has a fucking player projected to go 1 or 2 drop all the way to the 5th round. Never. Maybe a round or 2, but never in NFL history has someone slid 4 rounds, bro.
You know how the fix was in because if at some point the telecast would have been like, well, yeah, I'm hearing that Shador is really more of a 5th round draft pick, and they would have stopped talking. They were literally talking about this dude for 5 rounds. Oh, maybe Shador could go here. Maybe it's like if you didn't think he was a top quarterback, why are we still talking about him every pick from 1st round to the 5th round? That doesn't make sense. Like,
And say that's what I said last year. Like at the end of the day, I agree that they don't feel Dion, and their way of getting back at Dion was to get to him through Shador. You know what I mean? The league was calling themselves humbling the Sanders family, and they were doing it by that. But again, what the thing that I keep loving is the way that the Sanders family has been responding. You know, through positivity, through continued hard work. Because again, at no point have you ever heard, Shador not showing up for practices or not paying attention. You got Rex Ryan, of course, that want to try to say that bullshit. But you've never heard anybody say that this guy's in the back loafing, throwing, spitballs at anybody. Like, the dude is the first to show up. He's the last one to leave. He's putting in the extra time, putting in the extra work, always positive. Like I said, you don't have a single bad, press conference or anything from him. I mean, there's just nothing negative that you could really say about this kid, which is, again, why I go back to the original. We're talking about a sailed pass and an interception from preseason. And that's about the best that we can get out of this. So, like I said, again, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that this kid's going to be, outstanding or remarkable. I've said it before. I felt like the one of the most detrimental things that he could have did for his career was to go to Cleveland. Because, again, I've screamed it since the beginning. Cleveland has not put out any good quarterbacks. I mean, they just don't do quarterbacks any kind of justice. Baker Mayfield looked like total dog shit when he was in Cleveland. Now, all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield goes damn near everywhere else, and he looks a hell of a lot better than he did when he was in Cleveland. I mean, those progressive commercials weren't saving his ass when he was in Cleveland. So even for Shador, like I said, it don't matter what kind of fucking commercials, what kind of Nike deal he got. Cleveland's just not really going to be the place for him. I really don't feel like he's going to succeed and really get that positive momentum going his way until he goes somewhere outside of Cleveland. And I think they're going to have to. I think they have him for another year. If I had my way, like I said, they would start Deshaun Watson and then trade Shador away and let him go again, like I said, to another team, because you're not gonna count me 32, let alone 64 quarterbacks that are better than this kid.
Yeah. Solid.
All right, bet. We'll end it on that then. Y'all good with that?
Yep.
Hey, for next week, we got to talk about this too, man. Who's better at their sport, Bronny James or Shador Sanders?
What?
That's not even like
Hold on, so we're agreeing is Bronny James, right?
Stop it, man. I'm done.
Tahir, help your boy.
Let's entertain it. We'll entertain that next week. Cause he been waiting for that one, bro.
Are you drinking?
I was like, whatever he's smoking, I'll put some.
We need to talk.
Bro, I'm still drunk from the other day, bro.
We're talking about a guy that averaged 1 point in college is better at his sport. Oh man, Lord, look, can it be next week already? I'm gonna go to sleep. Please, is it next week?
Shit. All right, boy. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Facts. Yes, we know Chat Angel is fried. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate all the love and support, man. Please tune in next week because it will be a good one. But that's I'm your host, and Holla. That's all I got. We signing out.